Welcome to our podcast. Today we're diving into the US-China trade war in 2024. Quite a loaded topic, isn't it?
Absolutely. The trade tensions between these two giants seem never-ending. What do you think is driving the latest escalation?
Well, it's a mix of tech rivalry, political pressure, and economic competition. Both countries want to protect their interests.
Right. And it feels like every year the stakes get higher. Have you noticed how tariffs are back in the headlines?
Yeah, especially with the new tariffs on Chinese electric cars and semiconductors. The US wants to limit China's tech influence.
But doesn't that also hurt U.S. companies relying on Chinese parts? It's a bit of a double-edged sword.
Definitely. Some American manufacturers are feeling the pinch, but the government argues it's necessary for national security.
Speaking of security, the whole semiconductor issue is fascinating. Why are chips so central to this conflict?
Semiconductors are like the brains of modern technology. Whoever leads in chips controls the future of AI, 5G, and more.
That makes sense. I read that both countries are pouring billions into chip manufacturing. Is it working?
Progress is slow, the US is catching up, but China still dominates in some areas. It's almost like a high-tech arms race.
It reminds me of the space race, but now it's about microchips instead of rockets. Do you think this rivalry will ever end?
Hard to say. As long as both sides view each other as strategic threats, the tension will continue. But cooperation isn't entirely off the table.
True. They still trade trillions in goods. Even with all the tariffs, the economic ties are massive.
But have you noticed how some companies are moving supply chains out of China? Vietnam, Mexico, and India are benefiting.
That's the China plus one strategy, right? Diversifying to reduce risk. But it's not that easy to shift everything overnight.
Exactly. Decades of investment can't be undone in a year. Still, the trend is clear. Companies want more resilience.
And consumers are feeling the impact too. Prices for electronics and cars have gone up, haven't they?
Yes, the tariffs get passed down to buyers eventually. It's like an invisible tax on everyday life.
Sometimes I wonder if regular people even realize how much these trade wars affect their wallets.
Probably not until their new phone costs $100 more. But it does highlight how interconnected our economies are.
Do you think the 2024 elections in the U.S. are influencing this trade stance?
Oh, for sure. Being tough on China is popular with voters. Both parties want to look strong on trade and security.
And in China, the government also needs to show it's standing up to foreign pressure. It's politics on both sides.
It's almost like a game of chess, but with billions of dollars at stake. Moves and counter moves.
Speaking of moves, what about the recent WTO complaints? Are they making any difference?
Not really. Both countries tend to ignore unfavorable rulings. The WTO is losing influence in this fight.
That's unfortunate. Trade rules are supposed to level the playing field, but now it's more about power than principles.
Exactly. And with the rise of industrial policy, governments are picking winners and losers more than ever.
That could backfire. Remember what happened with steel tariffs years ago? Higher prices, but not many jobs saved.
History does repeat itself, but politicians love to promise job protection, even if the results are mixed.
And then there's the environmental angle. Tariffs on Chinese solar panels could slow down the green transition.
That's a real dilemma, balancing trade policy with climate goals. Sometimes they're at odds.
It feels like the more we untangle this, the messier it gets. No simple solutions here.
For sure. Each action has ripple effects. It's like a giant Jenga tower. Pull out the wrong piece, and things could topple.
Great analogy. So where do you see this heading in the next year?
My guess? More negotiations, more headlines, but no quick resolution. The rivalry is here to stay.
Agreed. Maybe small agreements on some issues, but the big disputes will linger. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I just hope it doesn't hurt innovation. When countries stop sharing ideas, everyone loses.
That's true. Some of the best inventions come from global collaboration. Science doesn't care about borders.
But politics sure does. I think the key is finding a balance between competition and cooperation.
Easier said than done, but crucial for the future. Imagine if the US and China work together on climate or health.
That would be a game changer. Maybe someday, but for now, it's back to tariffs and trade talks.
Well, at least it gives us plenty to talk about. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Just to pay attention. These issues affect everyone, even if they seem far away. And keep an eye on your next tech purchase.
Great point. Thanks for joining us today. And remember, global trade is everyone's business.
Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the headlines.
See you next episode.